to the channel. It's been a great day. Well, today we are finally going to be working on the Ford Lightning. You saw from the thumbnail, we're going to be upgrading the cluster on the truck with this kit here from Chinook. And I want to thank them again for sending me this kit here. I'm going to show you guys not exactly step by step on how they do this, because if you go to his website, he's got really good instructional videos on how to do this step by step. So if you have any questions, guys, if you see something in the video and you want to know what I did, go check him out, guys. He's got really good videos. Today, we're going to just show you guys the before and after and what you can accomplish with this kit here. If you have any kind of 9-gen F-Series truck, Bronco, diesel truck, this thing's completely transformed the inside of this truck. Now, for all you guys who have been following the channel, I know the truck. I've done a little bit of stuff to the inside of the truck. We kind of modernized it a little bit. We have a double DIN radio here that does Apple CarPlay. I have a quick release steering wheel. And, you know, just little odds and ends. It does have a system. I do have like a suede headliner and sun visors. So that makes it look a little bit better. Eventually, I do want to redo the door panel. So I don't know if I want to refurbish these or get these fixed up. I don't know you guys online who have maybe done the LMR ones. I've seen those online, but I've had bad reviews about them, heard good stuff about them. So I'm not sure. What do you guys recommend? Do you guys just think I should redo these, or go ahead and just spend a little bit of money and get the LMR ones? I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do. I'm actually thinking about painting these black as well and just kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure. So we'll see. But yeah, let's get back to this. Now, I think the only difference between the Lightnings and the regular F-150s is the speedometer on the truck scope to 120, and the regular ones I think are 90 miles an hour. So, but anyways, yeah, this is what you get when you order these kits from him. You get some LED bulbs in the kit. You get some stickers. You get a nice air freshener here. Some more stickers here from him. And then I believe these are the needles or for the AC control head. And then the faceplate itself. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, he's got videos, like I said, online, step by step on how and what to do. Also, you can order these options. You can order paint separately to paint the needles on the actual speedometer. I went ahead with some Ford blue here, or lightning blue. So let's see how these look. And then also, to complete the kit, don't forget, get yourself a new lens here for the cluster. You don't want to use, if yours is all beat up and old and, you know, nasty, just spend a little bit more money on his website and get the lens covered as well. That way you get the complete look. So, alright, so one thing we do need to do is we need to take several pictures of the actual needles and where they're placed, the placement of them, because we're going to remove the needles and we need to put those back exactly where we took them off from. So to turn the key onto accessory mode, these will move up, like you saw the actual speedometer kind of kick up a little bit, and then the RPMs will kick up as well. So we need to take a picture of that and where they're at, their placement, because like I said, we want to put those exactly where they go. And then we'll turn the truck on and take a picture of gas gauge, temp, and then the RPM as well. Alright, once we've done that, we can go ahead and start taking off the cluster face and get ready to get the cluster out. So like I said, mine's a little bit different because I have, like they said, like the boost retard over here, and I have switches for the nitrous over here. I have my auxiliary for Apple CarPlay back here. So like mine's gonna be a little bit different than most of yours, so I'm not gonna show you exactly how everything comes off. It should come off exactly the same out in either truck. Start popping out all these little panel clips here. Pull it off of there, just like so. That is actually a 5.5 socket on there. Just screws out of the cluster here. Alright, now let's go ahead and get this out of here. Alright. Cluster's out. Let's go take it to the table. all these screws are not the same. They're different hardware, so that definitely tells me that someone's been in here before. Pull this off here. Next step is to pop off the needles. He says you can use like 2 spoons or 2 panel clips. Let me see if I can get some panel clips and pop them off. Probably a little extreme, but we simply just want to get behind here and just like pry up on them. That was actually really simple. That one just came right off. Go around and do that. There we go. Got them all off. And I believe now we can just pull these little off, these little needles. Now we should better pull this off. Slide this out of here. Peel this one off. Let's pull these out. Pull that one off, and then we get to the center one. Alright. So now is when we replace the bulbs here. We get access to the bulbs. You can do it this way, or you can go ahead and just twist the sockets off the back and put them back on, but I'm going to leave those sockets alone and do it through here. From what he said, for the guys who have the battery indicator, which I think is this one here. I don't have that one. You may want to leave that one in there, because apparently people who replaced the battery indicator bulb with an LED bulb are having problems with charging, like the alternator doesn't charge their battery. So be cautious of that. I would just leave it in there. So yeah, pretty simple. Like I said, just grab and pull. Grab all these, pull them out, and just put in the new ones. Now, I'm not going to change out anything else besides just the main face here in the center, just because I don't want to risk having issues with anything else as far as like charging or braking lights. I know people said if you replace the third brake lights on these trucks with the LED, the transmission doesn't shift. So if you're replacing the battery one and the alternator doesn't charge, that's kind of weird stuff that does happen with these trucks. So I'm just going to change out, like I said, just the main circuit here, the main center piece. So just these 5 here. I'm going to plug it back in real quick, and we're going to make sure that these actually come on. If they don't come on, all we got to do is simply pull it out, flip it 180, put it back in, and it should turn on. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll start putting everything back together. Alright. So we got all 5 working. As you can tell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Removing these 3 T10s off of here. So let's go ahead and take these off. This is where, like I said, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you don't have to do this, but you could ruin your odometer and it won't work anymore. Slide this, lay it down. Now we need to take that 10, that 10, that 10, that 10 out. 2. Pop this. Alright, so this green here, the back of this green here, is what we need to scrape off. We need to scrape off all that green so that it's clear. But you don't want to scrape up and down. We want to scrape side to side. So we need to get a fresh residue blade, which he does give you in the kit here. So we need to get a fresh residue blade here. All we're simply going to be doing is just scraping this off like so. I got most of the green off. I mean, there's still specks of green in there, but I don't want to push the limits. I don't know exactly how crucial it is to get like exactly all the green off. I mean, there's like little specks in there that you can see, but I'm pretty sure as long as you don't see like heavy green in there, you should be able to see still a clear I'm going to leave it where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and put it all back together now, and then we can go ahead and start putting the face back on. Alright, got this all back together. Next fun part is grab our needle here, and on the back of the needle, on the actual needle itself, we need to scrape off. There's like a white, I guess, film on the back side of it that we need to scrape off. And even all the way up in here, inside of it, it goes all the way up to there to where my thumb is. So we need to get all the way in there, get all of that off. So I kind of started on this one already. Kind of see the difference between this one and that one. So this one's already scraped off. This one still has some of the paint on top, but we need to even get all the way up in here as well. So it's gonna take some time. You definitely want to prepare this right if you want it to come out good. So this is gonna take some time. I'm not gonna bore you with any of this. This is gonna take a lot of time, and it's hot as hell right now in the middle of the day. So yeah, I'll get back with you once I get these sanded down. Then we'll put a couple layers of paint on there. And I'm not really gonna bore you with any of that, and then we'll get ready to put it all back together. Alright guys, needles are all prepped. That definitely took a lot longer than I would have wanted, but that is done. Now we can go ahead and paint the needles. Like I said, all we're doing is not the top side, but the back side on the flat part, not the sides. We're trying to keep it on the actual, just evenly on the bottom, and try not to touch the sides. So we'll take our time here. We could tape it off, but honestly, this is taking too long. We are just gonna take our time and just coat it nice and slow. Like I said, we're gonna get small coats for now, and then we will do probably 3 coats in total. So we'll probably wait maybe, I want to say maybe like 15 minutes between coats, and then we will lay some more on there. Alright, got the needles painted. Didn't want to bore you guys with any of that. That's nonsense. That took a long time. Like I said, it's going to take you quite a bit of time, which just take your time. No rush. And yeah, let's get to putting this thing back together. Over. There we go. Last fine. Grab our slide that over. Place. That looks good. That looks really good. It's gonna look killer when it comes on. Well, I guess we can put this on also over here. Alright, just gotta make my final connection back here. Alright, we can lay this back in here. Before I bolt it up, let's turn it on really quick. Look at that, guys. That looks good. Alright guys, got the lens back on, everything back together. Just putting on the final trim pieces here. And I would have went ahead and started the truck up and kind of calibrated the needles kind of where I think they should have been or where they should be. Obviously we're going to have to go drive this truck to confirm that, you know, the gauges are actually reading right. The only ones that really are most important, definitely the speedo, which we want to get that one correct. So only way to find out really is to kind of go drive it to see exactly where we're at. But everything else, especially the fuel, so I want to make sure those are correct. But yeah, let's turn this thing on, and let me see if I can close these windows back here. Close the window in here, and turn these lights on. Look at that now compared to where it was before, guys. These look really good. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop the video right there, guys. When I was watching the footage, I realized that I forgot to swap out the PRND shift indicator on the cluster. I was running out of time last week, so I kind of put everything back together until I was looking at the footage and I saw that still green. I'm like, oh my gosh, where is that? And so I went back into the actual box, I was like, oh, maybe I misplaced it or missaw it. When I knew I wasn't going to replace the AC control head because I didn't have no time. I looked in there. I didn't realize that it was actually behind this lightning one. So if I would have saw that, I would have went ahead and done it, but I didn't see it, so it didn't even actually hit me until it was too late, and I put the video back together. But today is a different day. Now we can go ahead and replace it. We're gonna do the AC control head as well because it's still dim. I can show you right now that it's not even close. The AC control head doesn't even look like it's lighting up, honestly. So we'll go ahead and replace that today while we have time. But when I turn the lights on, you cannot even tell that these are it's on, but it's so dim and that it's, yeah. So we'll replace those today as well, and that. So you take the cluster back out and replace it. Which should be pretty simple because all it is, it unbolts from the bottom. I don't have to take the needles off or nothing. But this is looking really, really good. But yeah, let's go ahead and take it all apart, get that replaced, put it back together, and then we'll swap over to the AC control head next. Alright, so we got the PRND out of the cluster now. And on the back side, it looks like it's like plastic riveted to the back of it. So it won't just come right off. Like, it doesn't have any stickies. So I'm going to try to see if I can just get a razor blade here and just kind of cut off this plastic rivet here so we can release it. I'm just going to just release it from here. Let's get our knife back there. Just try to release it. There we go. And then to kind of clean up that rivet there, just so the new one will stick flush. Alright, so we'll just grab our new one and we're just going to place it in here. And to hold it in place, the kit does come with these little stickies. So we're going to use some of these behind it so it'll stick to it. Put some there. Just like so. Alright, got that all back together. Didn't want to bore you with the whole install and removal of the same thing that we just did earlier. But that is back on. I'll show you guys here the after, what that looks like, what it's supposed to look like. Right now I just went ahead and took off the faceplate of my radio so we can get to this AC control head. Now, I'm not going to remove it out of the truck because these harness back here are pretty brittle and the line's brittle and everything works fine. So we don't have to remove it out of the truck anyways. What we do need to do is pull these knobs off here. These just slide right off. So pull these off for now. We'll get to those later. So we need to get a heat gun and heat up the front of the face here so we can loosen up the glue that holds this cover on here. Alright, after a few good passes, let's see if we can start peeling this off. Alright, we're going to grab some of our little sticky glue down. And go ahead and line up our corners here. So in the kit, you get 3 of these new crystals here. So you get these in the kit. And we need to replace the little green indicator in there. So I think we just simply grab like a little, I'm going to grab a pick here and just push on the little clear on the front. See if we can just pop it out of there. So push it down. Pop right out. Pop this little crystal right out. So now we just grab our new one. And we just simply push it into place. And that's it. pretty simple. Let's go put this back on the truck. All right. Well, before I get carried away and put it all back together, we do need to remove the old bulbs that are back here. So we need to twist off these little tabs on the bottom and replace these old bulbs with the new LED ones. Alright guys, got everything back together. Time to flick the switch and see how these look. Yeah, so guys, these turned out amazing. So if you're on the fence or if you're thinking about even upgrading the interior of your truck, man, I'm telling you, go ahead and just buy yourself this kit. Now, if you have a Lightning, like I said, he's only got a very few limited amount left on his website. So like I said, I'll link out down below where you guys can pick these up if you're interested in picking one up for your Lightning. But man, these turn out really, really well. And I went ahead and verified that everything works good, but you all you do is turn the truck on. And RPMs, gas gauge, everything goes back to normal. Like I said, you kind of have to play with your needles around a little bit, but yeah, everything should work back how it's supposed to be. Got cold AC again. So yeah, if you're, like I said, if you're on the fence about buying one, man, just go ahead and do it. Get yourself a kit. All right, faceplate is completed, and man, I am so glad I went with that upgrade. Definitely modernizing, definitely gives the inside of the truck a little bit more of a modern look. Now I gotta, like I said, gotta work on door panels and upgrade some of the other stuff on the inside. But besides that, guys, the truck is coming along really, really nice. I do have future plans and more videos for the truck. But if you guys are running into kind of issues with this faceplate or any kind of problems, please put in the comments down below and maybe we can figure this out or we can find a solution for what's going on. Like I said, I just installed mine. I haven't had any issues with mine. One thing I did notice while I was installing it, and one problem I did find out, was if you have your fuel switch disconnected and you try to start your truck, it's not going to run. It'll just crank and crank. It might run for like a second and turn right off. If that's going on with yours, check that fuel switch, make sure it's connected, make sure it's got really good connection, because if it doesn't, your truck will not run. Besides that, everything else went really, really smooth. Definitely recommend this kit. I will put a link down below if you guys are interested in picking one up yourself. Like I said, he's kind of running low on supplies. I know he's planning on making some more and even doing some for other years or generations of Ford. So check out his website. Yeah, please like, please subscribe. See you guys on the next one.